For those of you that don't know, I'm Maggie, and today we are walking through all of the products that I've been loving in the month of May. And these are gonna look a little bit different. I feel like I tend to lean heavy on like cosmetics and beauty products and stuff like that in my favorites videos traditionally. But since we recently moved into a new home and that has consumed all of my thoughts and basically driven all of my purchases, this is gonna be focused on a lot of home stuff that we've gotten and things that I've really been enjoying. So if you're ready for something a little new, this is it. And the first one that I wanna start with is definitely my most favorite of the entire month. It's this print of our dog Nash. Now this all came about because Brian had offhandedly mentioned one time that he wanted to include a painted picture of Nash in our guest bathroom, and I was like, that is so random. So I reached out to my best friend's mom. Her name is Cindy Roberts of FancySchmancy Designs is her company name, and she is incredibly talented, both like digitally, she can kind of go in and do illustrations, which is what she did of Nash, but she can do anything. They make pillows, they make signs, anything decorative that you would want to hang around the house. She primarily does things that are custom. And so I texted her and I was like, I really want to surprise Brian with this picture of Nash for our closing day. She was like, send me a couple of pictures, and she kind of pieced them all together because trying to get a puppy to look dead on at a camera is near impossible. I don't know how she worked her magic, but she basically took 6 different pictures that I sent her and created this thing that looks exactly like our puppy.
Oh my gosh, you weren't kidding. When did you think about this?
I asked Miss Cindy to do it like a week ago.
Oh my goodness.
Sweet baby Nash.
That's our baby. Come here.
Come see, Nash. Come see.
Look who it is, Bubba. That's you. That's you, Bubba.
Knocked it out of the park. I cannot say enough good things. And if you've been looking for something custom of maybe your pet or your children, or maybe you had somebody that just graduated college or is getting married or something, she has a ton of examples of all of the different types of work that she does. And if you just dream something up and tell her your vision, she can likely execute on it. And so I'll leave her website in the description box below. I'll also stick it on the screen right now. She's incredibly talented. I can't recommend her enough. Please reach out. She's incredible. So while we're on the topic of home things, we're gonna stick with it. And I have to mention these soap dispensers. And I know this is a very bizarre thing to have in my favorites for a month, but these have been something that we've really enjoyed. When I thought about moving into the house, one of the first things that I purchased was like a bunch of cleaning supplies and hand soap, considering we moved during this pandemic. And I decided that long term, I thought that getting refillable soap dispensers was better for the environment and for our wallet. And so these were $9.99 from Target, and I just bought some of the Mrs. Meyer's hand soaps and some of my favorite scents, honeysuckle and peony, and we just filled up all of the soap dispensers in the bathrooms. And then for our kitchen, I love the style so much, I actually got the Duo that's a little bit taller, but it's still the same oil can design. Everything works so fluidly. They look really nice. It's something that's a little bit unique, and it's just a pretty basic chrome design on the top, which happens to match a lot of our like finishings in our bathroom. So that worked out. They're super heavy duty, like they don't feel cheap at all. And for $9.99, I kind of thought that was a steal. So we've really enjoyed these. So the next thing that we've been really loving at home and using nonstop are these Mercer Low Bowls from Crate & Barrel. Now we got a lot of wedding presents sent right after we sent out our save the dates. We got a bunch of packages in like January and February, and we didn't move until May, but we decided like, let's just keep it all boxed up. There's no sense in unpacking it and then repacking it in like a month or two. The very first day after we closed on our house, Brian and I came to the empty house with all of our wedding gifts and opened them up and drank margaritas and played with Nash, and it was a really good time. But we're really excited to finally be putting these gifts to use, and these bowls have been ultra useful. Now they're a very unique design in that they're called a low bowl because obviously the sides are pretty low, and we thought that these would be really good pasta bowls initially. But now we've loved them for salads, we've loved them for any sort of casserole that may have sort of a soupy element to it. There's just so many occasions where you want a higher lip on your plate, and so we have just been using these constantly. We also have a lot of open shelving in our kitchen, and just kind of the sheen on these and just like the organic shape of it looks really nice on those open shelves. So we're really happy with what we registered for and are glad that like our aesthetic ended up fitting into the house that we ended up buying. These are dishwasher and microwave safe. The only downside to these is I will say they get pretty hot. It's not completely glazed on the bottom like it is on the sides. So you definitely want to use some sort of placemat or something underneath it, especially if you have a table that would react to like severe temperature changes like that. Other than that, no complaints. Absolutely love them. They clean really, really well for a white bowl because they are just kind of like glazed inside. Also Crate & Barrel, dinnerware, really anything. They're barware. It's all super affordable. So I want to say one of these bowls is maybe like $6.99 or something like that. So if you were looking for a refresh or something, you can get this whole set. It comes in open stock, so if you break one, you can go back and just buy one bowl that you need to complete your set. We love Crate & Barrel. We absolutely love it. That's where our entire registry is, with the exception of a couple of things on Amazon. Like, we just went all. Now, it is a really close tie between this vacuum and the bedding that I'm sitting on as to which item is my absolute favorite that we bought upon move-in. But I'm gonna start with the vacuum because it's in my hand. This is the Dyson Animal V8. And I did a lot of research trying to decide, like, should we splurge and go for the V11 or should we get the V8? And honestly, there wasn't a huge difference between the performance of the two. I think that the V11 runs a little bit longer and maybe it's a little bit lighter. That was part of the improvement. But other than that, there wasn't really much of a difference in my opinion. Because of that, we ended up saving $100 or so and just going with the V8, and we have loved it. It's really, really suited our needs. And this gets used once a day, if not multiple times per day. Both of us were working with super cheap vacuums that like the belt would get stuck and it wouldn't suck up very much. And in the apartments, we had a bunch of carpet and stuff, and it was just always hard to clean. And having a good vacuum makes such a big difference. Now, Nash hates this thing. This is the scariest contraption in our house, and he hates that we use it so often. But honestly, right now, while we don't have all of our rugs and we don't have all of our doormats and stuff, we are tracking things in and out all the time, and it just constantly has to be cleaned. Now, this specific attachment right here has been great for cleaning off dusty baseboards, getting in the cracks and crevices. Speaking of attachments, I love how easily these go on and off. And it also came with a rack that you can like mount in a closet and keep all of your attachments on, which we do plan to do. Now, I want to say another pro of this is how light this is compared to a normal vacuum. Now, I still wouldn't go so far as to say this is super light, but if I were to guess, this weighs probably like 3 to 4 pounds holding it in my hand like this. And I do think it's also strange that when you go to like press the trigger to turn it on, it doesn't stay on. So if you're vacuuming for long periods of time, your hand can start to cramp a little bit, and I will say that's a downside to this, but it just does an incredible job. I can't recommend this enough. Honestly, the Defined Dish Cookbook is a favorite every single month, but I feel like I've talked about it ad nauseum on this channel, and so I don't want to consistently bring up the exact same things, but know that we cook almost exclusively out of the Defined Dish Cookbook. Absolutely love it. We'll definitely link it down below for you. It's incredibly affordable. I want to say 18 bucks off of Amazon, and it has so many 5-star meals in there. We love everything that we cook. But there's one recipe in particular that we love to cook when we want to treat ourselves a little bit, and that happens to be the after school banana bread recipe from the original Magnolia Table Cookbook. She also has a lot of great recipes. You can see I've actually marked some of our favorites in here, but the banana bread recipe is just something else. It's so simple, it's pretty straightforward. The thing that makes her so unique is that she recommends that you cook it in a 9x9 pan. And I'll say I love it so much more than cooking banana bread in a loaf. I think that it cooks a lot more evenly. It just gives you a lot more decent serving size, or at least it feels like a smaller serving size and you just feel a little bit better about it. But recently I decided to turn it into muffins, and that is now Brian's favorite format. But there are so many good Southern staples. I love her cheddar and chive scones out of here. She has a really good chicken spaghetti recipe. Another home thing that we're so glad that we splurged on aside from the Dyson vacuum is our Brooklinen bedding. This stuff did cost a pretty penny, but if you break it down and you think about the fact that you spend like 1/3 of your life sleeping, then it probably makes sense to go ahead and invest in it, right? That was our justification, at least. I sent out a PSA on my Instagram that was like, you know, we're looking at investing in bedding. What are your recommendations? And I got a lot of good ones. And a lot of people recommended Brooklinen. And this is one that I've heard about on every podcast I've ever listened to. And their whole thing is that it's like hotel style sheets. like really luxury. They hold up over time. They get softer with every wash. Finding bedding that works for me is a really hard thing. I am an extremely hot sleeper. And one of the things that Brooklyn had mentioned was that their bedding is a little bit more cooling than normal. It actually has a pretty low thread count because higher thread count sheets typically lead to less breathability. And so that's what can oftentimes make people even hotter when they sleep. And I've noticed that I have not gotten as hot since we've had this bedding, which has been wonderful. And we just went ahead and got what they call the classic move-in bundle. So that comes with absolutely everything that you need. 2 king-size pillows, 2 king-size pillowcases, the actual comforter itself, the duvet cover to go on top, a flat sheet, a fitted sheet, and because we bought that, it also came with a complimentary 32-ounce Laundress detergent. You have a ton of options within that. You know, we chose the stark white color just because I wanted a very neutral bedroom, but they also have ivory, they also have like a blue color, they also have some prints and stuff if you wanted something that was a little bit more fun, and then they also have a bunch of different options with the comforters and the pillows. Now, describing these sheets is a little bit complicated. Online, people kept describing them as soft but crisp. I just did not understand what crisp meant in the bedding world. Ultimately, these are extremely soft, but they're not too soft. They just feel so light and airy, and again, as a hot sleeper, I have really, really appreciated everything about this bedding. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail about this backpack because I actually want to do an entire video review on it, but I did want to point out that I have been loving this. I love the organization of it. I love how just like nice it looks, but it's still incredibly functional and not oversized. I'm somebody that definitely requires a backpack for work. Even though little side leather bags are super classic and definitely are cute and make you look a little bit more grown up, a backpack is just what I have to have. I feel like I have to tote around so much stuff, so my bag is oftentimes very heavy, and I feel like holding it on one shoulder is just not good for me long term. This does have backpack straps, as you can see, but another cool thing about this is that, as a lot of you know, I travel a lot from work when the world is working normally. And so having a backpack that I can use from day to day that also transitions well into travel is something that I've been looking for forever. This has this really cool little slit right here where you can slide this over your suitcase handles, which is awesome. So you don't have to have something on your back walking through the airport. You can have everything right next to your side and just scoot it along together. I also love the little stitch detailing and the gold zippers. I think that looks really nice. And inside, I just think it has so much functionality. It has these pockets on the inside. I have ample space still here. Now my charger does take up a lot of room, but you know, that's kind of a personal thing, I guess. It also has this really long inside zipper pocket right here that goes about midway down. And I can see myself slipping my Kindle or my phone or my wallet or my passport holder or something in that when I travel. Something that's small but you want easy, quick access to. But I think that the feature I love most about this bag is that the laptop pocket is completely separate from everything else. It has its own zipper, and it also has this really nice like button closure so that you can keep your laptop kind of secured and in place. This says that it can fit up to a 15-inch laptop, and I would say that that's probably true. My work computer is a 13-inch laptop, and I do have a little bit of space left, as you can see right here. Now again, I do want to do a comparison of a lot of the different travel backpacks that I have and explain to you like when to use them, why I like one over the other in certain circumstances. I think that would be fun, especially now that things are opening back up and hopefully we're all going to be back to traveling again soon. The last couple of items do fall within kind of the beauty category, and some that I've been really surprised by are these little lip balms from Billie. I was so shocked at all of the new products that they've come out with, and so I'm actually in the process of trying everything from their line, and I'm gonna do a separate video on that. But I couldn't go through a May favorites video and not mention these because I have been absolutely loving them. These are almost a second cousin to that Nivea lip balm stuff that's tinted that I absolutely loved. You probably remember it back from the winter because it was kind of like a fall shade. These are the exact same things but without that yummy scent. In fact, these are not scented at all, which I think is kind of strange for a lip product, only because we're used to that, you know? So this is what the tube looks like. It's clear, and when you open it up, it actually has that tinted balm. This specific shade Fig is a dead-on dupe for that Nivea chapstick. Now the Nivea one, it looks beautiful, it does moisturize your lips, it does the exact same thing that this does, and I think that it is like a fraction of the cost. However, I do really like these, and I think that these come in a lot more shades than that Nivea one does. So if maybe the shade Fig isn't for you, there are a couple of other options. I ended up getting 3. This one in Sorbet is my absolute favorite. It's the perfect everyday color for me, especially in the spring and the summer. It's a little bit lighter, it's really neutral, but it just adds a good wash of color to your lips while also being extremely moisturizing. And then I also got the one in the shade Rhubarb. This one I just thought would be kind of a fun summer color. It's not super loud, it's not super red by any means, but I just thought that it was something a little bit different that I didn't already have. There are a lot of products like this on the market. I really like the shade range that Billie had. Another lip product that has really been helping me through this extremely dry time is the Fresh Sugar Coconut Hydrating Lip Balm. This was something that I purchased in order to get the birthday gift from Fresh this year, and I'm really glad that I did. You open it up like this, and it's just like a coconut scented lip balm, but it is incredibly nourishing. It's not as thick, it's not as gloopy as the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, and I don't feel like I got as instant of results. However, this still does a great job. This is something that I've been using every single night, and it has just slowly healed my lips. And last but not least, Skylar has produced another really good scent club scent. Next month, I'm actually going to do a quarterly roundup of the 3 different scents that we've gotten from April, May, and June. But Cocoa Colada happened to be the scent from May that I have been absolutely loving. In the bottle, it does not smell the same as it smells on your skin. So know that. When you first open it up, I thought it had kind of a chemically cleanery smell, but no. Put it on your skin, let it sit for a second, you can pick up so many more fruity notes. To me, this is kind of like a lemony, citrusy, fresh, but tropical scent. This is up there with like Magic Bloom, kind of in that same family, but not as floral as that one. There's something about this that is just so unique. It's still fun and flirty and sweet, but not overly sweet to where it smells a little bit immature in my opinion. And this is just something super unique. To have like the tropical scents with the citrus, I don't know how they pulled it off, but I absolutely love it. I'll put the scent notes on the screen so that you can get a better idea of if you think this would be up your alley. So if you're somebody like me, I love citrus, fresh, tropically, like just got out of the shower, kind of unique scents, then I think that you would really like this. Now they're about to switch the scents over to the June scent, so if you are interested in this, I would subscribe to the Scent Club sooner rather than later. And I do have a discount code that can get you a little bit of money off of your first order and your Scent Club subscription. So, wow. I just talked for like 45 minutes, so this is gonna be a really fun one to edit. But if you are just on a binge of favorites videos and you wanna see more, I'll be sure to link my playlist in the description box below. And if you like this video, then like it. Stick around, subscribe, join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.